Hello, I'm Savannah, and today I'm wanting to share what my dreadlocks are looking like so far. It's been about 2.5 years, and I'm actually going to get my roots done by a professional in about a week. So I'm wanting to do a before video and then an after, and I'm also wanting to share today how I got started, how I started my dreadlocks, how I've been maintaining them thus far, and then showing some up close footage of some of my dreads, just a little closer. So yeah, let's get started. So to start with how I started my dreads, I did not go to a professional to start them off, and I also did not do freeform. I got a couple of my friends and myself to do my own spacing and to create the dreads. And we pretty much did that by YouTubing how to do it. And, all in all, it worked well. I think that if I were to get dreads again, I would probably do a professional just because spacing isn't perfect. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely perfect, but in some cases there are just too wide of sections, like rectangles kind of, and that is causing my dreads to want to split into two, like you can see here. It's wanting to split into two because it's too wide of a section. Other than that, I think that having your friends do it is great because I did not have to pay a ton of money to get dreadlocks. Like when I started, hair was actually down to my waist, which here's how long it is now. I don't think you can really get my waist right now, but it was probably 3 or 4 inches longer than what my dreads are right now. And because of that, I mean, my hair has shrunk. Even though it's grown a ton, it has shrunk as the dreads are getting tighter. So that explains the loss of length. But my hair was very long to begin with, so if I had gone to a professional, it would have cost so much money because my hair was ridiculously long, and most professionals charge by the hour. So I just cut that out, got my friends to do it, and it worked really great. And the way that my friends did my dreads was by teasing it to the root of my scalp, to the root. And we would also do twist and rip and palm rolling. And we never used a crochet needle or crochet hook. I honestly don't really know how to use that. We had tried to use it, but it seems like if you don't know how, you could easily break your hair, and I wasn't really wanting to do that. But I really need to learn how to use the crochet needle to tighten my dreads on my own. I don't do any of that, and I kind of wish that I had from the beginning because I would be able to maintain them a bit more. The only thing that I do is wash it and occasionally palm roll it and occasionally pull dreads away from each other so they don't start to dread together. That's really all that I do. I kind of wish I did more just so it wouldn't be as crazy, but at the end of the day, I wanted something that was low maintenance, and this is as low maintenance as it gets. So I'm pretty happy with it. I just get a little annoyed sometimes about these bubbles that have formed. These form because I'm pretty sure they form in multiple ways, but I think that for me, I wear my hair up a lot, and I think that the rubber bands kind of would pull parts out and kind of make these bubbles. I think that's why they've formed in a lot in my hair, but yeah, I wish I had taken care of that, not let it get as bad as it did, but you know, I can't complain if I wasn't doing anything to prevent it, so it's alright. So now I want to show some up close footage of some of my dreads and what's going on here. So you've seen some little bumps, some little wigglies. So here's one of my dreads that has kind of been like this since the beginning. I just haven't really done anything about it. It isn't dreaded in the middle, in this section. It's just not dreaded at all right here. So you can see that this part is dreaded, and it's dreaded a little bit underneath in this section, but all right here is not dreaded, and you can see, I mean, I could stick my finger through there. It's just loose hair, was never dreaded. Probably just wasn't formed properly when we did it, but yeah, so what I'm gonna do is brush this part out, and I'll be able to start the dread over from like up here down. I can re-dread it so it looks better. I'm also doing something similar with these two dreads. So you can see that there's a bump on this one, and I'm just not very happy about the bump. And it's not a lot of dread left, so underneath it, so it wouldn't be hard for me to just brush this section out and take that bump out and then re-dread this section. So I'm gonna do that. And the same thing with this. This one's not as big of a bump, but it's very short of a dread section, just this little section right here. So I'm gonna brush this part out, take the bump out, and re-dread that. Also want to share how some of my dreads have been separating. So I showed this one before. This one is separating into two. And actually this weekend when I go and get my roots done, I'm gonna tell her to keep this separated because it's too big of a section. I want it to be two dreads now. So this one's gonna become two. I think it's also happening with this one. Yeah. This one's becoming two. And yeah. This dread over here, this has been two for a while. I'm actually going to cut this from the base, maybe even today. So yeah, it was a bigger section, but then I started dreading it as two, and now it's going to be two. You pretty much just let it grow to be long enough so it's not sticking out like crazy, or I've been growing it so it's long enough to get into a ponytail, which now is the time to snip it. So I'm probably going to be cutting it just right here, and then this will be two. I did that with this one probably a year ago, and it was about the same length when I cut it, so it will grow, and it's just a little baby dread now. Wanted to show how some of my dreads are starting to form together. I think this is the best example. You can even see when I lift this dread, it's pulling the other one up because this is connected. It's not as bad as it could be, just because I've been kind of trying to separate it and pull that hair away. But honestly, a lot in this section is like that. So we'll be working on that when I get my roots done. Another thing I wanted to show is the pancakes that have formed. So really, for maintenance, every time you wash your hair, you need to palm roll it after, just to kind of keep, it's a good way to keep the hair together inside and to keep a nice circly shaped dread. Well, I have not been doing that. I probably do that once every 2 months or so, maybe not even that much. And because of that, closer to the roots where my hair has been growing since the last time that I went to the professional to get it done, it's become a pancake. You can see it really, really well in this one. It's pretty much flat right here, not like a circle or a sphere, cylinder, whatever you call it. It's just flat like a pancake. A few of my dreads are like that. This one is like that. You can see it really well. Yep. This one is also like that, back here. It's easy for the ones in the back of my head to become this way because every night when I lay down on my head, it's just laying flat against my head when I sleep. So that's, yeah, that is a result of me not palm rolling or really maintaining them at all. Probably 8 months ago, I dyed my hair for Bonnaroo. I bleached, for a music festival, I bleached the tips of my dreads and then I dyed it blue, and most of the color has come out now. And I've honestly considered recently just snipping the blue because my hair is long enough and I honestly wouldn't lose much length, but I don't really like this awkward middle stage green color that they are right now, so I might be snipping it, but I might not because I like having them that long. We'll see, maybe I'll just bleach them again, but this was the first time I've ever bleached my hair ever. Before dreads, I had never dyed my hair, never bleached my hair ever. My virgin, non-dyed hair until I bleached it last summer. And I did it just because, like, even if there was some breakage, it was just going to be the tips of my hair, so I was willing to take the chance. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video, so I'll be getting back to you guys in about a week and showing you my very tight roots. It's probably going to look a little funny, but that's just because my roots will be very tight and the base of my dreads are going to be still kind of crazy, but I really need to have all of this hair that has come out put back in. All this hair I keep up front, but there's also a lot of hair underneath that has come out, and just, you know, everywhere hair has come out. So I'm gonna get that hair put back in and then I will be back with you guys. So thanks for watching. Hi, there are a couple things that I forgot to show that I want to show now. So one of those things is how much my hair has grown since the last time that I went to professional. My hair has grown quite a bit, so I think it's grown at least like 3 inches, if you can see right here. This is pretty much where I got my roots done the last time, right here, and it's grown this much. You can also see that with this one really well, how much it's grown. So this you can definitely see where it is dreaded, and all this length is where it has grown since the last time my roots were done. I also wanted to show that I just brushed out those other two dreads, or the two dreads that I wanted to brush that had some little bumps. So these are what they look like now. I just put some water on them because they were really wacky, kind of crazy. Just really fluffy and had some kinks from where they have been knotted. So yeah, these are the two. I just brushed out the bottoms of them. I don't know if I'm gonna dread these or not. Dread the ends. I might dread the ends just a little bit, maybe a couple inches, but not too much. I also wanted to show that I cut that piece that was together. So it was these two pieces were connected, but they were splitting at the top, at the root. And I cut those. So this is the little baby. It looks a little wonky. Let me try to get a clearer view of it. Yeah, it looks a little wonky just because it's a lot shorter, but it's okay. It's also a little bit kinked at the bottom, just because I think this has been growing pretty quickly and it's just been kind of nowhere to go except spin and turn around because it's connected at the bottom. But here is I think it was right here that I cut it. You can't even tell. But yeah, so that's where it was. It's a little bit thicker at the bottom, but not that noticeable. So that's what we're working with. Wanted to show two more things, and that was these two dreads. So I showed how the kinks came in some places. These are very kinked, and for a while I was wondering how these have gotten so kinked, and I'm pretty sure it's because these two are the ones at the base of my neck, and so when I pull them up into a ponytail, they're at the bottom, and I think that they're pulled a lot. They hold a lot of that weight, and I think I'm almost positive that's why. It's because of the rubber bands that hold it. So I just wanted to show that. I think that's it. Thanks.